Dallas Cowboys, one of the NFC's top teams. Well, on Thanksgiving, they did dispatch the Kansas City Chiefs, and now all of a sudden, Dallas, 6-5-1, have strung together 3 straight wins. Next up for them, it's a quick turn. In Detroit, the Cowboys currently sit, that's Thursday night, on the outside looking into the NFC playoff picture. They would jump the Lions, though, with a win on Thursday. Dallas, an 18% chance to make the playoffs, according to ESPN Analytics. Their chances would jump to 35% with a win over Detroit. Let's hear from Dak Prescott.
I did the other day. And it was just more, I wouldn't say by accident, but it was just watching TV, right? It came up, they were showing the AFC, so I'm like, damn, what's the NFC look like? And went and checked it out. And I guess really nothing different, though, than what I've said, right? It's about us really just controlling what we control, winning the games in front of us. And right now, I don't think we're in a position where we truly got to, count wins and losses from other teams. I think if we just win and handle our business, we'll put ourselves in a great spot.
And so far, they have been handling their business over the last couple of weeks. Week 13 done and dusted, so that means it's time for another Overreaction Tuesday with the Grossfather himself, Dan Graziano, and as promised, Jeff Saturday back. Let's start, gentlemen, in the NFC. The Cowboys will make the playoffs. Dan, overreaction or not an overreaction?
Not an overreaction. This is a completely different Dallas Cowboys defense than the one that struggled through the first half of the season. Not only Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson, their trade deadline additions, but they got healthier at key spots. Marvion Overshone playing. He missed the first half of the season with an injury. If they beat the Lions on Thursday night, Jeff Saturday, there's going to be a lot of pressure on those Eagles in that Monday night game, because I don't know if you know this or not, the NFC East has not had a repeat champion since 2004. I don't know if you ever heard that before.
Hey, listen, I am so glad we had this question, because if he would have answered overreaction, I would have butchered Grimes, because all he ever tells me is the strangest things happen in the NFC East, the same team for 21 years. So I'm going to say it's not an overreaction as well, because he's got some kind of voodoo or witchcraft going on in this division, and he's called it. And listen, during the games, guys, he's literally texting me. He just texts me these eyes, and he's like, keep watching. He's watching the implosion of the Eagles and the ascent of the Cowboys in pure joy and delight. So I'm going to say not an overreaction, because I don't know what he's got going on over there.
Did you see how tickled Graziano was?
Yeah, Graziano was
sending the eye. He was so tickled.
So reporting the facts.
Sure. Yeah, somebody got hold of my phone and keeps texting Jeff Saturday. All right, hey.
It's like, hey, don't the Bears look good? Like, yeah, that's pretty much what
All right, you mentioned the Eagles, and that leads us to our next point. Neither of last season's Super Bowl teams is going back to the Super Bowl this season. Dan, overreaction or not an overreaction?
It's not an overreaction. Obviously, the Eagles are still in good position to make the playoffs, but they don't look very good. Their offense has been out of sync all year. Their defense just got run over by the Chicago Bears on Black Friday. So even once they're in the playoffs, it could be tough for them to do what they did last year. And the Chiefs have to get in. They're sitting there at 6-6. They've lost to almost every team that's in front of them. Pretty much have to run the table from here on out just to get in. I guess if they do that, they'll be dangerous, but they're going to have to go on the road and win a bunch of games.
I'm going to say overreaction here, and I'm going to say because of where the Eagles are positioned, right? I think, as much as we love the Cowboys story, I think the Eagles probably can get away with this because of the way their schedule ends up. And once you get in, they beat the good teams, right? They beat the Rams, I understand, on kind of fluky plays, but they beat some of the best teams in the NFL early in the year. If they catch that fire again, I would say the Eagles. And then the AFC, I don't know what's going on in the AFC, but I know where the Patriots are. But everybody else, if the Kansas City Chiefs can find their way in, it would not be something you could put, you could say they couldn't do. So I'll say it's an overreaction at this point for me.
That felt like healthy disagreement. Actually.
A little bit, yeah.
Like healthy
constructive though.
Let's talk about that AFC, Jeff. We'll start though with Dan. The AFC North champion will have a losing record. Dan, overreaction or? Okay. Or not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction.
Right now, no one in the division has a winning record, right? Ravens
Correct.
and Steelers are tied for first place at 6-6. The Ravens look terrible. The Steelers look worse. The Bengals just got Joe Burrow back from injury. That feels like a pretty important second half of the season pickup that could make a difference. The Bengals have a tough one this week in Buffalo. But, if they win all but that game the rest of the way and get to 8-9, it could happen. We've seen it before. I don't think it would be a surprise at this point.
Yeah. To invoke my Mike Tomlin, the standard is not the standard in this division right now. This is going to be, I agree, it's not an overreaction. They're going to have a losing record. It's just so bad. Like, you watch it, and it's shockingly bad. I can tell you, of all the games this past week, the Ravens was the biggest shock for me. I did not foresee that happening. And again, the Bengals with Burrow coming back. But, I mean, that Ravens gave them a lot of help. The Steelers look like they can't figure it out either on defense nor on offense. I'm with Dan here, not an overreaction.
All right, you can find Dan's complete.
Go show me on Sunday Night Football, if I'm being honest. I didn't. Marcus Mariota, that offense was lighting it up. I mean, they got outgained by the Washington Commanders offense with their backup quarterback. They gave up 30 first downs. 30! That's not good football. I'm sorry. The Denver Broncos, the strength of that team is their defense. And if their defense is playing that poorly against a backup quarterback, then it's hard for me to have that trust factor with them. Now, I'm not sure whether or not they decided they were going to take an extra week and not come off their bye week, but that was not representative of the Denver Broncos team that I saw for the majority of the season, what I saw on Sunday night in Week 13.
Still won.
Now, I get it, Smalls. They still won. They still won. I give them credit. They still won the game. Yeah. Now, that's in part because you're going up against a team that got nothing to lose and was deciding to try to win the game with a 2-point conversion rather than kick an extra point. They still got the win. It still counts in the record books. When you add them all up at the end, it still helps them. But if we're talking about how well people are playing right now, there were other teams that are on this list that edged them out.
Wow.
All right, let's get to the Dr. Pepper calling lines at 888-SAY-ESPN. One in, one out of CC's Power Rankings, brought to us by SoFi. Dylan in Jacksonville, listening on SiriusXM 80. Morning, Dylan.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just wanted to say, great show. I listen to it every morning.
Thank you.
But CC, I don't know if this is a weekly power ranking. How about we throw Jacksonville in there, maybe at the 4 or 5 spot, going 3-1 since the bye week, and a possibly impressive win coming up this week against the Colts.
Not a bad thought.
Not a bad thought. I don't hate that idea, and I'm gonna have to get to the point, if they keep stacking wins, of putting more respect on the Jaguars.
Yeah,
I do. You know where I'm at with Jacksonville. I can't tell you whether they're winning because of the quarterback or in spite of him.
The answer is yes.
That's a terrible place to be. I do like the fact that Jacksonville is committed to running the football. They're top 5 in rush attempts. That running game, being able to provide some balance, avoid the turnover-worthy plays from Trevor Lawrence. I'm a big fan of 30 or less when it comes to pass attempts for Trevor Lawrence. I think less is more in terms of his output and the overall passing game. And so I think that Liam Cohen is trying to trend in that direction with that team. That defense, Josh Hines-Allen, Travon Walker, they're starting to come alive. That pass rush is starting to heat up. That's a team that you got to keep an eye on. They've been flying under the radar, but they're playing this week for the outright lead in the AFC South. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the talent that it takes. It's just a matter of them being able to put it together. And when I say they, I really mean the quarterback.
You made my son happy. He's a Jaguars fan. Dennis, although they have a 3-hour delay today, so who knows if he's even up yet. Ridiculous. Dennis in Connecticut, watching on ESPN 2. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, guys. God, great show, of course. Canty, I love you, man. God bless you and Mel and the newborn baby.